I generally try to avoid giving spoilers in reviews. This is the one time I'm making an exception because I need to give spoilers because I need to talk about the ending of this movie. Because, what the crap? Seriously, what the crap was that ending? Alright, so before I get to spoilers, I just say I did enjoy this film up until the last couple of minutes. I really got into it. I thought the animation was great. And I thought the new version of the story had some really interesting ideas. I compare this very closely to, like, Robert Zemeckis' Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey, where it has most of the same story beats and the same message, but it's also unique enough to clearly be someone else's vision. Like, Robert Zemeckis' Christmas Carol is clearly his version of it. This is the same thing here. Del Toro provides a lot of interesting ideas like the afterlife, purgatory, the whale being a sea monster, and Pinocchio fighting as a child soldier against Mussolini. Yep, you heard that right. In this version, Pinocchio goes to fight against Mussolini. So, if you ever wondered what would happen if Pinocchio went to war, which who was, but I guess someone out there was, here you go. And yeah, this movie's tone definitely earns it a PG-13 rating. It's definitely not a kid's movie. I am a bit disappointed that the movie spent so much time with the evil puppet master and spent so much time focusing on the war, because Del Toro is great when it comes to horror, and I would have loved to see his take on Pleasure Island and the boys turning into donkeys. I was really waiting for that scene to see how creepy it was going to be, because the Disney version kind of let me down with that, but it's not even in this, so... But at the same time, I am glad that the film, for the most part, is very different than other versions of the story and somewhat justifies its existence. Now, there are a few plot contrivances that don't really make a lot of sense, like the puppet master has this pet monkey who doesn't speak English until one scene where he needs to convince Pinocchio to escape, and then he never speaks English again. Huh? There's also a fair bit of dark humor, particularly involving the fact that Pinocchio can't technically die. When I say dark humor, I mean like the movie Edge of Tomorrow, where there's that montage of Tom Cruise getting killed over and over. Kind of the same thing. It's dark, and he dies in these terrible ways, but it's kind of played up for laughs. So that was kind of interesting. And this version, it's also less magical. This isn't like this whimsical fairy tale. No, it's very realistic in tone, at least as much as it can be, given that it's about a wooden puppet. And it's also very gritty. And honestly, that kind of works to its advantage. It is definitely Del Toro's version of Pinocchio. It can't be mistaken for anybody else's version. But the end of this movie ticked me off, because the whole point of the story is completely lost. The point was that after facing all this hardship and somehow persevering to the end, Pinocchio finally earns his reward of becoming a real boy. That's the whole goal. That doesn't happen in this version. Nope. The whole point of Pinocchio becoming a real boy, that's out the window. We're not doing that, despite us setting that up at the beginning. No, we're going to subvert your expectations in the worst way possible, because Pinocchio stays a puppet. And on top of that, he stays a puppet and has to live out the rest of his life as being immortal, so he watches Geppetto, the cricket, and everyone else around him die, and is cursed to continue to live forever in a meaningless, empty existence. How freaking depressing. That pretty much ruined the movie for me. Because with all the films talk about life and the meaning of life, it seems like such a contradictory slap in the face to end the movie by giving Pinocchio a meaningless, empty existence. I used to get really excited when I saw that Guillermo del Toro was involved with the project. But between the ending of this and how he chose to end Trollhunters Rise of the Titans, I am definitely going to be preparing myself for disappointment with anything he's involved with in the future. Because he tells really good stories. But it seems lately, it's like he tells a really good story and then he doesn't know how to end them. And the endings completely fall apart. That's twice now, so... You know the old saying, fool me twice, shame on me. So next time Del Toro's involved with something, I'm going to be a little bit more skeptical, and I'm going to prepare myself for a disappointing ending. Overall, though, this is still a very well-made movie. Like I said, it's very unique. It has really good animation. It's delightfully dark. The end just kind of sucks, though, so... I still have to technically give this movie a positive review, because there's more good in it than bad, though. So for me, it gets a B, 8 out of 10, and 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was just kind of disappointing at the end, though.